Hello, welcome to my channel. It's yet another beautiful day, and I'm here with a very good friend of mine. He goes by the name DJ ChristCentric. I'll allow him to introduce himself to you, and we'll take the call from there.
So my name is DJ ChristCentric. I'm an urban gospel DJ. There are a number of things I'm into. I do publishing and music distribution for artists. Okay. I do artist management as well. Basically anything in the music business, I'm into it. Yeah.
Okay. So today I thought of us talking about your ministry, but I think I'll go over the bar. So we'll talk about issues pertaining the Christian hip hop industry in Ghana. Okay. How do you see the movement in Ghana?
Okay, so the urban gospel industry in Ghana is okay. We've come a long way, but then there are a number of miles we need to cover. Okay. So far, so good. I would say urban gospel in Ghana would be a decade. Would be 10 years. Okay. With looking at the number of years the industry has been in existence in Ghana, and then our success, I'll say we've not gotten to where we need to be. If you date back into how hip life started, hip life started with Reggie Rockstone and then etc. It didn't take long for the whole movement was accepted. Like it didn't take them 10 years for the whole movement to get accepted. Okay. So it means for us, there are lots of things are lagging on our side.
Rapzilla is in Africa to support Christian hip hop artists. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel it's a big move. Yeah. It's a big move because Rapzilla was established in 2013, and then Rapzilla is the biggest platform for Christian hip hop in the whole world. And so it's just like say BET is doing something, is helping artists in Ghana go to where they need to be. So if we have a company or a media house like Rapzilla supporting and then coming down to Africa to help push the gospel music down here in Africa in general, it's a big move. I'm really
as of now we only have 3 artists on there. Okay. Do you think Ghanaians are ready for this?
Honestly, 100%, I can say it without time and number that Ghanaians are not ready. I have a number of friends who work in Rapzilla. I have a number of friends in the States who are industry players as well. If you want to get a blog post, if you want to get your article on Rapzilla, it is not free. Okay. It goes with a charge. So if Rapzilla is doing something like CHH in Africa, and then they've given out platforms for artists to bring their submission and then have their songs on their playlist, and then we are not having anybody show or bring up submit their songs, it means we are not ready. When the publication came out, I reached out to a friend of mine who is also who is a publicist at Rapzilla, and I told him that I'm a DJ, so I can help him solicit and get songs from Ghana and put on a platform. When I came back, I sent out a broadcast message, and I said that okay, now Rapzilla is starting a CHH African playlist. Yeah. So Ghanaian artists, please bring your song. Please submit your songs. Do you know what happened?
Tell me.
I only had 5 submissions. And then when I listened to the 5 submissions...
But we have more than 300 artists in Ghana. Yeah.
I only had 5 submissions. When I listened to the 5 submissions, out of the 5, I picked 3 because I felt this was the standard that Rapzilla was looking for. Okay. And then out of the 3 that I picked, there was only 2 that was taking.
Which is?
It was only 1 that was taking. Okay. It was only Vbuqs song. Okay. So you've been able to see Vbuqs song on Rapzilla's playlist, then it was by kind courtesy of myself. So it was only Vbuqs song. The other 2 songs didn't quite meet their standard, so they didn't post it at all.
Okay, as an industrial player and a DJ, I think you've had the opportunity to work with artists outside the country. How different is it working with them and working with the artists in Ghana?
Okay. So in the Ghanaian music industry, the urban gospel Ghanaian music industry, there's one element that I believe is lacking very much. Okay. And then that element has to do with communication. Communication. Okay. Like our artists are poor at communication. Now let me just make you understand one simple fact. Let's run you through a simple background. Okay. Now, if we talk about the world, if we are to list the richest men in the world, just top three, we are going to have Bill Gates, we are going to have Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook, and then we're going to have Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, and so Mark Zuckerberg is part of the world's richest. Why? Because he's a communication person. He just took the industry of communication and mastered the industry of communication, and the industry of communication has made him become a millionaire. So even in music business, your communication is very important. It's very key. The richest industry is the communication industry, because internet, when you buy internet, you want to reach out to someone in the States through WhatsApp call. You want to do video call and everything. So one of the things that Ghanaians really lack in is communication. Our communication is really poor.
Okay, so imagine yourself as an artist.
Yeah.
What would you do that will make you unique from other artists?
Okay, what will I do? I'll make sure that my communication is the best. And then I'll make sure there are two things I always believe in. That communication, two of my principles, communication and then marketing. These are the two things that I believe does sell any artist. So if I'm an artist myself, I make sure that my communication is up to par. I make sure that my marketing is up to par, because these two things sells you. Marketing, it sells you, make people know what your brand stands for and who you are. If I was an artist, I'd major in these two elements, and then
I did a major research on why some of the CH artist songs are not out there. I had something like too much spirituality. What's your take on spirituality and trends? Artists to follow trend and spirituality. A lot of artists feel like, hey, I'm doing gospel, so like, man, God will do, like God will promote. Instead of, they have the platforms to promote, but they don't. What's your take on that?
Okay, so my take on that is, in Ghana here, in the States, they call it CHH. That's Christian hip hop. For those of us who don't know what CHH is. Okay. So by in Ghana, we call it urban gospel. Now, I always tell people that urban gospel is in two folds. They are like two words that came together. So it's urban and then there's gospel. So gospel stands for the spirituality part of it. Gospel, it means you need to sing God, like Bible stuff, like it's God. You need to have a relationship with God and everything. And then the urban is the business and then the art side. So you don't say because you're an urban gospel artist, so you don't need a manager. You don't say because you're an urban gospel artist, so you will not put up good pictures or good cover art. No. So that is the urban side. So the urban side has to do with your branding, how we look like, and the gospel side has to deal with like the message and then what you're actually saying. So with spirituality and trend, I think the two goes together because it's urban gospel. Now this is it. The trend is important. You need to go for the trend. But because the gospel is attached to the urban, that it is not so, it shouldn't solely be the trend. Now you can follow trend. Maybe right now, let me just give an example. The trend of hip hop in the scene is like grime. It's like that, like the American kind of music that's coming up right now. It's like heavy bass. That's what is going on right now. If you're a gospel artist, do something like that. But then the spirituality comes in. The spirituality comes in when God tells you that no, everybody is doing it. This is the trend, but my son, do not do this. Do not do this. Because spirituality, there are things specific for certain people. God gives certain things specific for certain people. So in the past, Nicki Minaj, Tasha Cobbs featured Nicki Minaj. Everybody was talking about it. And then I had an issue with people who were bashing her about it. Were you in her room when God actually spoke to her to do that feature? But to some other artists, God can emphatically tell the person that do not feature any secular artist. It's a word exclusive to that person. That is why it is important that if you are an urban gospel artist or you are a CHH person, you need to have a relationship with God. That is the primary important thing, because it's not urban music, it is urban gospel. So as you are looking swaggish and then you are looking brandy-ish and everything, you still need to have your relationship with God. The gospel side has to be there.
That's the main thing.
Exactly. So you follow the trend, but if by relationship with God, God whispers something to you or drops something and says that no, son, do not do this, then just don't go. Just don't get into it at all.
Do you think Christian rappers in Ghana are making good use of digital platforms?
I don't think they are. I absolutely think they are not.
What do you suggest though?
Okay, so I mean, you invested time. I want to say that you invested time and effort into putting out a record why would you put out something that you are not going to make good market or use of? I mean, the digital age has made things very easy. Gone are the days, if you are an artist, you want your song to be out there, you need to look for a distributor, a distributor, and then an executive producer. Now, someone who is going to invest millions of CDs into your album by burning CDs and distributing it to a lot of music shops. But right now, with digital streaming platforms, it's just have DistroKid. DistroKid is less than $20. You pay for a year, or I stand to be corrected, less than $30. You can pay for a year and then have your song everywhere. Even someone in China just goes on Spotify, the person listens. Now, one ways where people actually make streams out of their music and make money is by playlisting. So if your song is not on Spotify, then it means, or any other music platform, then it means you don't get your song will not get playlisted. If your song doesn't get playlisted, it means you don't get discovered. And if your song doesn't get discovered, it means you don't get money. So many a times there are a lot of AR people from other record labels who go on big playlists and then they scout for new talent. If your song happens to be on a big playlist, it's more like you've entered a big man's office. You are likely to get signed, or you are likely to end up having a big deal. So it works that way. So my advice to urban gospel artists and then anybody watching this, if you are into the music business, please, if you've taken time and money and effort to go to the studio and record it, please take that money, have that mindset, and then apportion just an amount of money to do promotion. Primarily, you just have your song on Spotify. That's just it. Have your song on the digital platforms. That's just it.
How do you think stakeholders can help support the gospel industry?
I mean, you can virtually do everything by yourself. You can have stakeholders and everything, people helping and everything. But I mean, even recently we heard of Kanye West saying something about advocating for the fact that artists need to own their masters. Usually, when you get into some of these big deals and big record label contracts, it's a rip-off. They sign a contract and then they make money out of your craft. So honestly, I believe in DIY. Do it yourself. Have friends who believe in your vision, who believe in your music, and then learn, build your craft. Learn about music distribution. Learn about artist branding. A lot of ebooks on the internet that you can always glean or learn from. YouTube is a good platform to also learn from. I'm a product of YouTube University. So I mean, just learn. I believe in DIY. But then also, if there are any stakeholders who would like to be of help, our doors are open. We really need that. Some of us who have the knowledge and expertise that we can help make put things together. So we really need the stakeholders.
Content-wise, do you think Ghanaians are making good music? Content-wise, why they laugh?
Content-wise, Ghanaians are.
Make it snappy, short, very short.
Okay, Ghanaians are a number of Ghanaians are making good music. A number of them. But those who are not making the good music, the people who are making the good music. I mean, when they do correct, the two things I mentioned, when they do correct marketing and correct communication, it will override those who are not making it.
The reason why I asked that is, would you blame the media for still playing the old traditional kind of gospel and neglecting the urban part of it? When I tune into radio, even this morning when I was coming, I was listening to a couple of radio stations, and all I could hear was the Tego Sisters, not even their new song, old songs, Joe Metals' new song, old songs and all that. Do you think, can you blame the media for that?
Well, I can't blame the media. I think media people.
Who would you blame?
Oh, I'll blame the artists themselves and then their management. And then, I mean, honestly, I'll do that. I'll mention this name. I wasn't a fan of Patapa.
Okay.
I never liked him. I never liked the style of music or anything. But it was everywhere. People were playing it, and so I started giving him a listening ear. I was like, oh, this guy, his music is just funny. I don't listen to him. He's not my top-notch artist that I listen to. But then I wouldn't even want to have anything to do with him. But because his songs were everywhere, people were playing, so I was like, okay, make I listen to this guy and see what he go do. So when I listened to his song, I found him very funny.
Very funny.
That was it. So I mean, if you push the song, you have the attention of the mass. If everybody like Kobe Sam and Scott Evans like this, I mean, they are pushing their song. So I mean, like they have a number of people playing their songs on radio and then on TV, showing their videos and everything because they marketed it. So if the marketing hasn't gone far, you don't expect people to like jump on your content and then consume it.
Sure.
No.
Getting into that, why do you think top gospel artists end featuring a lot of trendy, youngies like new cats? Like now Kobe Sam is trending on the scene. We have Scott Evans, who have been trending like a couple of let's say months ago.
Yeah.
Why do you think top gospel artists don't?
As I some minutes ago, I mentioned that it's urban gospel. There's urban and then there's gospel. It could be two things. One, it could be, we don't know, it could be attitudinal, maybe their attitude. Two, it could be an instruction from God, not to, because the number of people, they just move by their relationship with God, they just move by God's dictates. Maybe God says, take a step, then they take. There are a number of people too, their relationship with God, they have to take a step before they can hear God speak while taking that step. So might not know for a fact why they are not doing that. But another thing too could be they don't know the benefits of, they don't know how like the good featuring this art could also bring to their brand. Okay. Or it could also be pride, I mean.
Okay, so I think we'll leave it here. This all time. Because I think it's been nice having you. You've tackled a whole lot of issues with me, and I think the world will for sure hear what you got for them. Charlie, bro, thank you very much for.
Charlie, I will do well.
Thank you. Charlie, it's been awesome having you, man. Charlie, any last word before we go?
Okay, so my last words would be, you guys, let's support the urban gospel industry. Let's support the movement. I mean, we listen to hip hop every time. We listen to Afrobeat every time. Let's just support the movement. And then you can follow me on all social, DJ ChristCentric, DJ, and then ChristCentric, ChristCentric. Just follow me. Need any advice on like branding? We need any advice on artist management? You just need any advice on any step you would like to take? You have a single coming up. I do playlisting where I can pitch your song for you to get playlisting on get a Spotify playlist. I have a number of friends in the industry who can help with that. Okay. So I mean, you can just get in touch. I'm social. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and then what the other one, Facebook. I don't really do all of Facebook. Well, I'm on Twitter. I'm really on Instagram and on Twitter. So you can just hit me up and then let's have a conversation going. Yeah.
Charlie, bro, thank you very much once again, Charlie. So to meet again, I beg Charlie, try comments, try subscribe to the YouTube channel, and to meet next time. 2 time. What be that?